We're live. So Mark and I came on live early because you guys know we're either going to be early or late. What normally happens, just so all of you are aware, is Mark and I normally start a conversation in the green room, and we just forget to hit live, go live. So that happens almost all the time.
That's like, it'd be weird if it didn't happen like that.
Right.
And we were talking about what the subject is, which is great because usually we start with like whatever, but we're so on a roll here talking about this Paul Pelosi thing where, okay, so let me, can I walk us through what allegedly,
please.
We know? Okay, so the cops are called. Okay, so the cops are led into a house by an unidentified man who I think we still don't know who it is. Right. And they find Paul and this Green Party guy in their underwear fighting with hammers.
Yeah. Or did hammer or hammers? There's a hammer involved.
Do we know, are there more than one hammers? And also I would like to add that, look, man, my wife, when I leave town, she has the alarm set, cameras on, gun fully loaded. Even with me, and I'm not that big of a deal. She has to make sure that shit's locked down. You would think that if you are the husband of the person third in line for president, you'd at least have a security system. Like ADT would have come to your house by now. But this dude's like, just nobody broke into any house here. This dude was let in. He was a guest. Bottom line. And again, I don't live in her community, but I know in my community, even me just being a guy on social media, dude, there's no way this guy was an intruder. There's no way this guy was sent there by MAGA. Because if you look into the guy, he's literally got a Black Lives Matter sign on his window. He's voted Green Party for like all the elections, and he has a rainbow flag. I know there's a lot of gay people in MAGA. I do know a lot of them. Yeah. Obviously, our buddy Aaron Chrysler is one of them. But like, dude, it's hard to believe. What's your take on this? Did I get any of the facts wrong, guys?
No, like I take a look at it from the how I always try to break it down. Like, okay, I'll get logic first. Like, she is the fucking third in charge. Like, she's third in line of succession to be the leader of the United States, right?
Yes, she's very important. Yeah, very important. Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House is arguably the third most important position in the United States.
So we're to assume like it's one of two things: either the people in charge of national security do not recognize that her house being guarded is a matter of national security, which means they shouldn't be fucking in charge of that shit anyway, because it most definitely is. Like, just her laptop or her computer, the phone, like, so it's, I have a hard time believing her. I have a hard time believing her house sits unmonitored at all. Like
no.
So if dude in his underwear can get in somehow, I'm pretty sure that China and Russia could get in. You know what I'm saying? Well, it just makes no sense.
There was somebody was getting inside something that night. Yeah, look, dude, here's my opinion. Judging by the underwear, like, I don't know if I told you this story. I was at my buddy Rob Moran's wedding, and I walked into a room. They gave me a room key, but it was occupied already. They messed up, and there were two dudes in their underwear on the bed together. And I immediately was like, oh shit. I walked out and I got a new room key. I assumed, again, like, I could be wrong. Like, if you and I were in a hotel room together, we'd have 1, 2 double beds. Yeah. And number 2, we probably wouldn't just be chilling in our knickers. We'd be apart, but these guys were close to each other. I'm assuming they're involved. Yeah. They're partaking in homosexual activity. If there's a dude in a house that you cannot get into. You literally can't. I guarantee you can't break into Pelosi's house. No, but this guy, dude, a fucking Russian agent could not break into this house. You're telling me that some wacko hippie in his underpants with a hammer broke in and because he was influenced by MAGA rhetoric. Think about how insane that is. Like, think about, and they're going with it. Did you see all the art MSNBC today pushed forth by right wing? And Hillary's like, this is right wing. I'm like, not, the guy was literally his leftist gay lover. Let's just say it out loud. Like, dude was tapping that Pelosi ass. And I heard that he could have been the guy in the car when he was drunk driving. There was an unidentified person.
You know, the story, like somebody asked, where are you getting this information from? Mark and I are fairly heavy. The news. We're on Twitter. Like,
it's like, literally right there.
I just kind of like, again, I'm just going to take a step back and say that if it's not his gay lover, which if the fucked up thing is, they're showing themselves to be the bigots they are again, because why would they just not say, this is Nancy and him have an arrangement, it's his gay lover, and if I was them, I'd be like, anybody that has a problem with this should be like viewed as homophobic, because I don't.
That would be the play, dude. That's how you get the. That's how you get the Republicans. I'd be like, dude, what do y'all got against open relationships? Like, Paul likes a little bit of D on the side. Yeah. You know, nothing's wrong with that. Look, for the record, if you're in a consenting adult relationship, it's not for me. And you want to do that swinging thing. You want to lease out your wife. You want to do that cuck stuff. I'm good with it, man. You do you. Or whoever you want to do, just don't do me. And I'm like, cool. But like, the fact of the matter is, like, look, none of us will ever truly know what happened here. But we have to address this because they're completely attacking a side that really doesn't care. Like, it's like, the MAGA wouldn't have cared. They would have been like, dude's getting it from behind. Cool. Instead, they're like, well, this was you guys who did this. Like, dude's literally a hippie, like, who doesn't, he vote. So he's so far left, he votes green. Yeah. Like you think Democrats are crazy? Have you ever seen the Green Party? Like, I mean, so this guy is so far to the left, and yet he's far right. It's just like, you know, Jimmy Dore. I know I told you I know we watch him. Both of us love him. And Jimmy Dore is left. I am left. I'm considered left due to some of my viewpoints. Mm-hmm. Yet, like Elon said, like, I'm still here. They just went so far left that a fucking hippie from Berkeley is far right wing. Yeah. This is insanity. It's so awesome. I love it.
For them to be rolling with that, like, I'm just like, and I'll be the first one to say, by the way, if you're not following Mark, or it's Mark Lobliner on Twitter, or the MFing COO on Twitter, because it's become a very fun place just in the last couple of days. Because and for those of you, like, I hold back to try to just make sure I can stay and like keep the channel and we can keep like helping people and stuff like that. But I don't really hold back on Twitter, and I haven't in a little bit. I just can't. I just feel much more confident in not getting deleted for it. Yeah. But if you look on there, like the logic reigns through. Like, just release the fucking security foot. Like, to the suspension of intelligence to think that the House of the Speaker of the House of the United States is not under constant surveillance. I mean, there's no video cameras. There's nothing like, I don't believe that. Just release that shit. But instead, it's the same thing. Like the Hillary Clintons of the world are saying, well, this is because right wing, blah, blah, blah. Like they're talking about rhetoric, like getting Paul Pelosi. And don't get me wrong, everybody, before anybody gets on my ass about it, not like Paul Pelosi's ass, but my ass about it. Like,
I've been there.
I hope you've been there.
No, there. I haven't been there.
I was like,
I haven't been up in any dude's butthole, but maybe one day. It's still night's still young.
Yeah, the night's still young. That's But I just because on Twitter I marked myself safe from a dueling hammer fight in my underwear, and people are like, I was like, the night's still young though, because you never know. Like, apparently this shit happens, right?
Great minds.
I think that if Elon wouldn't have taken over Twitter last week, this would already be out of the news cycle. Like it would if Twitter was still the way it was, where they were able to push a narrative, that this would be like right wing MAGA guy tried to assassinate the Speaker of the House. Like, we need to arrest Trump. Like they would have found a way to arrest Trump out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they've done it. They've had articles on how they need to arrest Trump over
Yeah,
this.
yeah. It's insane. It's insane.
I,
Meanwhile, a Marco Rubio DeSantis guy in Miami, a pollster for them, got nearly beaten to death.
Yes,
and it didn't make the fucking news. Literally told like that he was beaten to death for being a Republican, almost beaten to death for being a Republican. It's on fucking like they have the fucking witnesses and all like that. Not even in the news cycle. Like not even no bother. Paul Pelosi has an argument over who's paying who for what, or who's on the bottom. I don't even fucking know. And all of a sudden, you know,
Ryan has a point, dude. You get in that with a hammer, like bluntly, you're dead. Like you're not just getting a little ouchy. You're not being like you're being airlifted somewhere, and they're trying to save your brain. Yeah. Like a hammer's that is no joke. We should ban hammers. Yeah. That's the key. We need hammer control. Hammer control. So I think it's just funny. If 2020 didn't show us, this surely will. The media does not give a fuck about the truth.
Oh my God.
They do not care about the truth. MSNBC is literally running with the narrative that this guy was far right wing, despite the fact we know that we saw the dude's house. Like, I don't have any BLM signs on my window. I don't have any. I mean, there's no way this guy is far. So basically, he's got a point with the hammer, but basically, your guys' thoughts, man. Like, you're right. He's 82 surviving a hammer attack. There's nothing about this makes sense, Alan.
None. And like I really believe they wanted it to be gone from the cycle already, but Twitter's not letting go. Like that's why I honestly think that's because I believe there's a fairly coordinated effort to control the narrative, and like the fucking last 2.5 years would show that. You see the article this morning, like you reshared it too. The article this morning where they said like it's time for us to forgive each other for how we treated each other.
No,
I don't got shit to be forgiven for, motherfuckers. Like me and you.
I was right.
What we were right. But like, why should I have to worry about being forgiven when we tried to save people? Like, I mean, fuck you. I don't got shit to be forgiven for. Fuck all you motherfuckers.
I'm not forgiving anybody for what they did for the last 2 years to children. What they did for the last 2 years to nursing home patients who weren't allowed to see their loved ones. What they did by killing nursing home patients. What they did by shutting down businesses and killing the economy. If you still were, again, I said this, my wife gets mad at me because I get frustrated. When I see people in their masks, I hate them because I know those are the same ones who yelled at us, who fucking chastised us. Anybody still wearing a mask? I'm sorry, you're just an idiot. Like, I'm not going to say the R word, but you're just an idiot. You're just the stupidest of stupid. I mean, and it's not your right to. Oh, and also one more thing, it's not your right to wear a mask. You're concealing your identity, which I think is a public safety risk.
It absolutely. I think that was one of the first conversations you and I had about the mask thing. I was like, it's a fucking safety risk. Name a time where you could conceal your identity walking into a person's business. I can guarantee you, if I would have had a brick and mortar building, if I would have had a brick and mortar gym or something like that, you wouldn't have been allowed to wear a mask in that motherfucker.
No, I was kind of for that. We didn't mandate masks, but we had them in case. So DeWine in Ohio was kind of a Nazi. Yeah. He's a Republican, but I don't think he was malicious though. DeWine is like a small old man. He was literally scared because I think he bought the hype. There's some people that I gotta admit, I will forgive who have turned around and been like, oh shit. And that'll lead us to Shapiro in a second. But there are some people who I think, you know what? You were fooled. And I definitely think DeWine, I honestly think he was acting out of fear. I don't think he was as evil as most. He's just a little bitch. I mean, that's the thing. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. DeWine is just a quaint little man.
Yeah. A quaint little man. I love
quaint little man with glasses, like the glasses, bro.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
You hated working out with dude. You had to work out with a mask on. You need to move, or you need to find a new gym that isn't stupid. Like, I can't believe they made you do that. Did they enforce it? Like, if you fell beneath your nose, did they yell at you? Because I would find the person who yelled at me and punch him right in the fucking face right now.
It's just fucking like what happened over the last 2.5 years. And I mean, again, like if you come here just be upset about it, be upset. I don't give a fuck at this stage. Like, because here's the thing, I give so little shit about that stuff anymore because we were right. I mean, it's not even an argument to be had. I know I'm not a doctor, but at the same time, I know how to read data, and no, you can. And this is a challenge. You can go to either of Minor Mark's Twitter accounts. Check back go back 2.5 fucking years. Go back to April of 2020, and for a while before we even started talking again, like we said very parallel things, all completely that right now is seen as completely factual. Like I said, the way we're wearing masks is going to increase infection, and it's going to lower immune systems. Sure enough, all of a sudden, fucking increase. It's just common sense that was forgotten about. And then, like, part of it is that allows this type of crazy, like the type of crazy we started talking about with Paul, Paul Pelosi, like taking the hammer in the ass. Like, I mean, I'm assuming, dude. Like, I mean, it's the fucking. I don't think that the fucking goal is to fucking smack each other's in the head with it. I think that.
Maybe the hammer was just maybe they got in a spat, a lover's quarrel.
Well, maybe. And again,
I'm not anti-gay.
I'm not anti-gay either, but like, let's be real. There's a fucking reason why there's something that the hammer's there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have a hammer in my laundry room. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a sex toy.
But you do, like, you're not worth $500 million and like married to the Speaker of the House. Like, you do housework and shit like that. Paul Pelosi's 82 years old, fucking worth $500 million. How does this motherfucker not, like, how did he get a DUI? Like, I don't even understand that. Like, how do
get a driver? You're worth like millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Again, I will say national security risk. The abduction of the husband of the Speaker of the House of the United States should be listed somewhere on national security. Like
it should be somewhere on there.
It should be listed like somewhere, like as a priority for national security. Like, how does this happen? Like. Fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene's house, she has had her house swatted fucking 6 times, right?
Yep.
6 fucking times. And what people don't understand is her biggest concern, if you listen to her talk, is that one of the police is going to end up dying because she has Secret Service, like she has armed guards and shit like that around her. So when the police come, fucking ready to go, locked and loaded, her crew is to protect her. It's going it's going to cause an incident. Paul Pelosi is the fucking husband of the Speaker of the House, and he's just like off driving and shit like that. Like the only way that this happens is if he specifically says, "I don't want a detail tonight." That's the only way this happens.
That's it. He has to call him off.
Right.
I don't know enough about this, but I know enough to know. I mean, it's not like just some run-of-the-mill Congress person.
No, absolutely
not.
And
also, let's not forget, they're in the most dangerous city, one of the most dangerous cities in the country. Yeah. Even if he didn't have detail, they should probably hire somebody. Or at least get ADT, like Brinks. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like $99 a month. You're good to go. Yeah. Like, I got, my house is Fort Knox. I got cameras. I got guns. We're good. And I'm not a congressperson.
Yeah, at all. Like, you have internet trolls.
I'm a nobody, dude. I'm not. And also, Paul Pelosi's worth quite considerably more than all of us because they're insider trading.
Oh my God, yeah.
Let's not even get started on that. Like, there's insider trading. But I mean, the guy he got attacked by is if we were to see him on the street, like, I don't have gaydar, we'd probably be like, that guy's probably gay.
I mean, let's be real. He goes out to bar like. Because I don't, and that's the weird thing. I don't even care. I don't even care that he's like, and I never have. Like he's not.
Nope.
I mean, even if he was trying to bang me, I can say no. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But it's like they're the ones that like. It's like his side is the one that has such the problem with this. Like there's all sorts of like possibilities that are in there to be real because. Until they prove something differently, until they show me how this person got in, I'm saying all bets are on. Like, for all we know, this could be like fucking, them trying to off Paul for being an embarrassment and then try to blame it on MAGA. You know what I mean? Like, for all we know, like, it does sound to me, it seems much more likely that Paul went to some of the gay bars picked up a dude at like fucking 2 a.m, went back to his house, and the hammer war started. I don't fucking know. Like,
Which, I mean, who hasn't done that?
Like maybe
Guilty.
Paul, maybe, yeah. I mean, occasionally the tidy whitey underwear wars happen. I mean that I just
Was he in a tidy whitey? Is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Because I mean,
Paul looks like a tidy whitey guy.
Yeah, who wears tidy whities though? Like I need the good underpants.
He's 82 years old, man.
Yeah, 82-year-olds wear tidy whities. That just seems like something old people wear. I don't see anybody who's in shape wearing tight. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know. Please don't imagine. But like, if you're like a guy who trains, like works out really hard and has abs, I don't think you can wear tidy whities. There's got to be a law against that because you got to wear boxer briefs. You know what I mean? Like that's what in shape people wear.
Yeah, boxer briefs. Absolutely.
There is no guy in shape wearing tidy whities.
No. I mean, maybe the occasional thong, but like, I mean, it's
so when I first started competing, I was really light. I was a lightweight actually, and my butt was so lean that it just was a gape. It like my cheeks didn't go together, so I had to wear thongs, or else I'd have a constant wedgie throughout the day. So little story, I wore thongs for about a year and a half, and then I figured out how to eat more.
I did not know that.
And now everybody does.
Now everybody does.
There's no secrets among us, man. That's how comfortable I am in my sexuality that I wore thong underwear for a year and a half straight.
Was it lacy?
No, it was like regular underwear, but it went up your butt. Like it wasn't like it did have designs, like because it has like the eye patch over the junk, and then it has a string that goes up your butt. So it's like a female one, except theirs is designed to cover labia. Mine was designed to cover balls. So there's a bigger pouch.
Okay. I love where our conversations go.
So speaking of segues, do you want to go on this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Mark and Alan, I heard on MSNBC. Font of fucking knowledge right there. Natural immunity, I think the same immunity, only lasts 3 months, and you can get the vid multiple times a year. Is that true? I just want to know the objective truth. What are your thoughts? Well,
yeah.
From what I've seen, it can natural immunity lasts up to 14 months or more. Who knows? I will say this: you get colds multiple times a year. Most of the time, you just don't know it. Most of the time, you're just asymptomatic of it. And COVID is, in fact, a fucking cold. If you live in fear of this cold, it says more about like your life than anything. Because get healthy and you don't have to worry about a cold. Like, I mean, I just had a little head cold not too long ago. I didn't fucking panic. I fucking had chicken soup.
Also, let's say what's the alternative, right? The vaccine, Biden literally got it 2 times in like 2 weeks. And all these people who have the vaccine are getting it multiple times in the year. I think the CDC director, that witch, she's had it 3 times in the past 6 months or some crazy shit like that.
She got announced having it again today.
How does that even happen?
She has another rare rebound case from the Plavoxin or whatever.
For rare to happen, like it would be rare for 2 men to be hammer fighting and one happened to be the Speaker of the House husband, right? That's rare. But rare. Like the fact that everyone publicly who gets COVID, who's had the vaccine, ends up getting it multiple times, that would be something that's not rare anymore. That's pretty much commonplace. And how many people get it again and just don't know it? I could have had it 6 times this year. I don't know. Why? Because for most of us, it is a cold. So I had a stuffy nose for the past 3 weeks. Could have been COVID. COVID is a new thing we just live with. Sometimes you get like flu. Sometimes you get the flu, you're back in 24 hours. They call it the 24-hour flu. It's been around since I was a kid, since probably way before then. Sometimes you get the flu and you're knocked out for about a month. That is also the flu. It's different strains. So COVID, being that it mutates, you have Omicron and Delta and all this and that and the third, you're just going to have it. So my opinion is absolutely. It's a virus. It's floating around and you can get it. The problem is that happened in the beginning. Unfortunately, they lied to us and told us that we pretty much would fall over. Remember the Chinese videos with people like falling over and dying in the street? That never happened.
Never. It's if you can't accept by now that if you're one of these people that can't accept that you've been had, like if you bought into this at all, like if you got to just wake up a little bit. Like, I mean, I don't have anything against people that got like fooled and kept to themselves, But like people like the people like Jimmy Fallon, or not Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, who was like, if you get sick, you shouldn't get health care. There's a strong chance that like if we meet, like the redneck half of me might have words with you, and like might have something to say. I'm going to try, like the married 51-year-old businessman is going to try very hard to restrain the redneck in me from getting me put in jail and you in the hospital. But like I can't forgive that shit. But like if you're still like in this COVID frenzy, wake the fuck up, because I got to tell you look so fucking stupid.
Or just stay inside. Like my wife was telling a story today at the gym when she went to the zoo once. I wasn't there because it never happened but she didn't have a mask. My wife, it was outdoors at a zoo. You're surrounded by monkey shit. Yeah. And some woman came up, "Where's your mask?" And my wife's like, my wife does have she had a growth in her nose, so she can't wear masks. Yeah. And she explains it. And this woman's like, and then the person we're talking to is like, "Why the fuck are you at the zoo? Like, if you're that scared, stay home. If you're that, like, why are you out? Like, you should be the one home. Let the rest of us go out and live our lives. I'm not scared. I don't care if it has an 80% kill rate. I'm not staying in my house."
Yep. This one's tragic. Never.
Oh my God.
Got vaccinated, never got the vid, but developed epilepsy 2 weeks later. CDC calls me every now and then. Fuck. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel bad. I feel bad for you that you made that mistake of giving in and getting that, because that's what it was. I am sorry. Like, nothing. And this is, again, like, if you're going to take the word of a historically corrupt industry, like, people did no research. They just felt like, where do I stick it in? Like, people did absolutely no research.
That's what Paul does too.
That's what Paul does too. But like, it's a historically corrupt industry that has been sued for some of the largest fines ever for bribing doctors and falsifying data. We're going to give them complete liability protection and tell them to produce this fucking brand new technology in 1/10 of the time it's normally produced. And then we're going to fucking force it to everybody. Something's like, if you can't tell something's off by this, like by the whole scenario, like the very second when they were like starting to fucking push, like, hey, everybody needs to stay locked down, but we're going to fucking keep fucking Walmart open. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
And And Whitmer from Michigan, who's probably going to win again, she actually shut down. She opened Walmart, but shut down all the seeds and everything not essential. So think about that before you vote. By the way, I'm going to post in the comments the Sunshine Act, which will tell you if your doctor is on the take from Big Pharma.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm posting it right there. I'm just finding the link. So just so you know what I'm doing, this is from AMA, and they got links in this article to the portal where you could type in your doctor's name, and it'll basically tell you how much money they've taken from Big Pharma.
Wow, that's fucking amazing.
Posted. All right, cool. So so that sucks about epilepsy. And I'm assuming you never had it before, and the problem is when you do something like that triggers things, right? Like it triggers, who knows what you're going to trigger. I've seen so much crazy stuff that makes no sense from people who got the shot. So much crazy stuff. Yeah.
I mean, like the blood clot thing, like the fibrous clots, like there's so much that's we just don't know. Like I don't trust. What I found to be very strange, like, because I mean, obviously you were under this, you took the same heat I did. By the way, I did want to tell everybody real quick, Marc is running an incredible special here at Tiger Fitness, and here's the link to that also too.
Oh shit, upside down. Oh, wrong one. I can't see, it's mirrored. Okay, there we go. We got the this one will be out probably in the next month. Pumpkin pie outright bar and the chocolate caramel, the Twix flavor. So we got those. We got a bunch of other cool stuff. You get this free shirt.
Yep.
Which is cool, simple and cool. Got God damn it. Got the American flag on the side. Everything's mirrored, Alan. I feel stupid.
Yeah.
I can't figure out which side is which.
I always do the same thing. Like, this is my right, but it looks like my left to me. I don't fucking know. So.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not very good at stuff. At stuff in general. So I have seen, so yesterday we went to the mall. The craziest thing is you see parents without masks and kids with masks. And I think it's because the parents have the vaccine and they don't. Yeah. But my question is, so I also see people walking where there's one without, one with. My question is, the one without, when they're together, do they keep it on? Because when that one without takes it off, you just negated everything that just happened.
Yeah.
It's just, people are dumb. Like, I just look at people, I'm like, God damn, you're stupid. Like, you're just stupid. Like, you have no, I don't like you on this earth with me. Like, you're just dumb.
Yeah. Speaking of dumb, Alan and Mark, what about the spike protein? I've heard every time you get it, that it hurts your body, and your trainers can speak on that. Thanks, guys. Love the info.
I guess it's you trainers.
Yeah, you trainers. If you're worried about spike protein, why the fuck would you take the vaccine?
The vaccine literally is spike protein. It's not COVID. It is the spike protein. Yeah. And that's why we're seeing the issues isn't from what I understand. And again, YouTube, this is just how I understand it. And if it's wrong, please do not listen to me. Listen to God Fauci, because he's always correct. Thank you, YouTube.
Infallible.
Infallible. Yeah, of course. So the COVID's not the issue. The issue is the spike protein. And the spike protein, when you inject it, like you get COVID, you get it. The spike protein's acute. It does its thing. It goes. The vaccine, and when you get boosters, it literally keeps that spike protein pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding at your immune system, at your heart. So it's basically taking the negative effect of COVID and giving it to you repeatedly without the virus, which is not a vaccine. A vaccine is literally a dead virus or a very weakened virus that you build immunity up to. A vaccine is generally getting the sickness without truly getting the sickness. Like the flu shot is simply a weakened strain of the flu.
Right.
Whereas this is not even close to that. It is mRNA, and you're inducing a spike protein, which we have that's what people are like, I took it a year ago and I'm fine. Cool. Call me in 5 years.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Even when, because that is so weird because everything's so political, right? Because in June or July of 2020, when they were talking about the fucking, like, we're Operation Warp Speed, I'm like, there's some things that we should not rush. You know, like, I mean, like,
yes,
like there are some things that have safety procedures for a fucking reason. And I posted, I don't care who fucking sells it or who pushes it. I'm going to, Yins, go ahead. I'm going to give it like 5-10 years and just see how you guys turn out. Yeah. I mean, like, because I mean, man, me and you are already talking, and to the people in our audiences, we know you listen, because it's like, if you're healthy, you're at less risk than you are of your fucking car. Like, I mean, without the social media and mainstream media, like fear porn of this cold, it would have been just a cold. I keep seeing people talk about the 2017, 2018 flu, and I can speak on this a little bit because that's right after I got out of healthcare, and I can tell you this, the 17-18 flu was way harder on our hospital system than COVID was in 2020. 2020, there was more hospitalizations in 17-18, this season of the flu season, for the seasonal flu. There's more hospitalizations than all of COVID in 2020.
Wow.
And we keep hearing about. We heard about, like, we were terrified because of Italy, and we don't want to be like Italy. Italy did rather well in comparison to the 17 and 18 flu, when they, like, the worry that, like, I'm sure you heard it a lot too. Well, we don't want people dying in the hallways of the hospitals needing beds and blah blah blah. That shit comes from Italy, and that shit came from like the 17-18 flu, 2008 with MERS, a few other places, because their healthcare system is so bad. Hopefully this new person that's in charge will change that. But their healthcare system was so bad, and they have one of the most elderly populations on the planet as a country. The smoking rate is 30%. Like, they still have like 30% smokers, and they lead the world in multi-generational homes. So a young person that's out and about, very active, normally comes home and shares dinner with their, mom, grandmom, and even sometimes great grandma. They all live under the kind of the same roof a lot, right? So whereas we elderly people, especially very elderly people that are sickly, are much more isolated, to a great degree. Like, my parents are elderly. They live on their own because they've done well for themselves. But they still are pretty isolated. Like, I mean, they basically see themselves, their doctors, and their neighbor, like, who's also elderly, like that's their whole life. But in Italy, these people would come home from seeing thousands of people at their job or at the nightclub and everything like that, and they're having dinner with grandma. I mean, so the infection rate was much, much higher.
So that brings us to, first of all, there's no real proof of long haul COVID.
No.
I've read a lot of studies, which aren't studies. They're actually opinion pieces that are printed in journals. I would like to state that for the record. I like to be very clear with my research. As much as I like to play off the whole meathead thing, science is what I do. There's no proof in it. Even if there was, there's no data on the other side that the shot, they're just saying stuff. They're literally just pulling shit out of thin air and saying it. There's no proof that the shot not only there actually is proof that it doesn't prevent COVID. It doesn't prevent the spread. It doesn't prevent you getting it. And therefore doesn't prevent long haul if it even exists.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask openly for any of these quote unquote experts to come debate me. You bring your data, I'll bring my data, and I'm just a fucking coach. Like, let's go. And that brings me to one, this is the woman who had the epilepsy. So she had to get the shot for med school. No, you didn't, young lady.
You didn't actually have to.
And the sad thing is now you're set with a life of epileptic seizures, most likely. And we don't know what's happening, but I have seen images of blood from people who've gotten the shot. And it is not like our blood. Something weird is happening that I do not know what it is. And it scares the living hell out of me.
Right. Me too. I do want to talk to this guy. Damn, y'all making fun of political violence. First of all, James,
is the violence political?
It's not like I really don't think it was political. Unless Paul and his friend who, for some reason, were in their underwear and had a hammer, unless they were talking about politics and that's what spurned it, then that might be it. And even then, it sounds way more like it was an interpersonal matter. Secondly, if I was making fun of political violence, so fucking what?
That's what we do.
I mean, I got to be real. Like, keep making the society toxic. That is what supposedly you're advocating against. You sound like a bitch, like a hoe ass bitch. You sound like a bitch. Like, to even like you keep making society toxic. You're so toxic, dude. You sound like a fucking pussy ass motherfucker.
Well, here's the thing though. Like, how is we advocate for people to get healthy. For us calling out lies. Yeah. That's actually the antithesis of toxicity.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did I just use some big words? That was we need to cut that shit out. Put it right on the gram as a reel. Okay, timestamp it. So like my whole thing is we call stuff out. Look, at the end of the day, what is this? Like I'm a fitness channel, and this is a way for us to just have a conversation. And if you don't like that, that's fine. But when you talk to your friends, are you worried about political fucking misinformation and this and that and the third? No, it's like Joe Rogan. He has conversations. Yeah. And all we're doing is we're having a conversation that we would have and hopefully opening up viewpoints. But in no way did we say anything. The only thing we did say is if it truly was an attack in Paul Pelosi's house, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem because that's a security risk. By the way, B Fighter, he was actually making fun of my views earlier. There's actually 140 people in here, bro. Yeah. I don't know where you got 25 people, but I don't get the most views. That's fine. I'm not more plates, more dates, and that's all good. But unlike you, I'm not stalking my YouTube for the second time today. Like you're on my channel. And it's pretty much 24. You're not counted. So if that's dunking on me, so I'm free enough to waste time doing stuff like this.
Any concern with Marc's BMI over 30? Marc addresses this fairly often. And your BMI is not over 30 anymore, is it?
What is my? I don't know. I'm like 210.
Yeah, something like that. Marc's waist is incredibly small. If you look at my channel and my work, I talk about BMI over 35 BMI. You kind of gotta look at it where it's like I'm pushing extra weight around no matter what. This is actually a good question. Okay, I know you're trying to troll, but I love it when the trolls lead up to good questions. I call it cultivating the trolls a little bit.
BMI doesn't apply to athletes, in my opinion. But look, I'm a bodybuilder and I've tried to lose weight. I just hold a lot of muscle, and I'm not on a crazy steroid cycle. I'm not doing any of that shit. I eat when I'm hungry. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I'm not even competing right now. So it's just where my body is. I'm as lean as I could be without feeling like shit. If I got any leaner, I'd disappear. I tried to get down below 200, if you recall, Alan, and I just felt terrible. So, it's, I understand that I weigh a bit much, but I will say that with the condition I'm in, the fact that I just posted my blood work, all my blood work's available online. I did videos on it. I posted it. Also, the fact that I got a calcium scan of my heart. I can't be healthier based on my circumstances and where I'm at in life. So I don't have a concern about would I like to be lighter? Yes. I think 185, 190 would be perfect for me. Unfortunately, I think that'll take, and it's going to happen because it's this muscle, like, unless I stop working out, which is not going to happen because it's healthy, not working out would be an unhealthy. So am I going to cure an unhealthy circumstance with another unhealthy circumstance? I'm literally going to have to stop training. And maybe just do cardio, which isn't as healthy for you as overall strength. There is new data, Alan, I don't know if you saw this, that for overall health measurement, strength is as much or more important than cardiovascular. Yeah.
I mean, cardiovascular is an excellent way to, I look at that in multiple ways. I haven't seen that study, though, but I look at it in multiple ways. I've talked about this before.
You know who talked about it? Stan Efferding did a video on it. Stan Efferding's the vertical diet guy.
Yeah.
And he did. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating because I would have never guessed it, and I'm very excited to learn more about it.
I'm thinking I would imagine it has something to do with the avoidance of sarcopenia, like the actual avoidance of losing lean muscle mass.
Yes,
because that's what keeps metabolism. Yeah.
Sarcopenia is muscle wasting, basically, is what it means, and that is one of the biggest predicators for dysfunction or lack of function in the elderly population. So if I was to take an old person, let's say 60 years plus, and I only had a half hour a day, I'll put that motherfucker on a leg press. I'm not going to have him walk on the treadmill. And let's be honest, most people get their walking and their cardio done, enough of it, just parking further away from Walmart. It's not that difficult, but actually going and doing something purposeful in the gym, that is where you go to the weight room.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I used to, even when I was training people in person, like elderly people, I would train them with a PVC pipe for deadlifts and shit like that.
Yes, PVC pipes are the greatest tool in the gym, man.
Yeah,
I love them. We have like 50 of them. We use the hell out of them.
The trolls all disappeared. You guys gave up way too fucking easy.
Yeah, especially the guy with the hair, the blonde guy who said that we're provoking violence.
Dude, because you must be new to me because just so everybody's clear, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a constitutionalist. And as far as I'm concerned, we need a little scuffle up to fucking remind some people who's in fucking charge.
Ryan, I have to correct you. It wasn't 8 people. It was 8 mice. They tested the booster on 8 mice, not 3 blind mice. They tested on 8 now myocarditis having mice.
That's just fucking insane.
That they approved it with just, here's the thing, a widespread, thousands of mice rodent studies, one thing, but to approve it based on 8 mice. 8 mice, not 1 human, but mice.
And then they put it on the childhood vaccine schedule. That's fucking, if you can't see that something fucked up's going on, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying label whatever you want, put whatever conspiracy theorist you want on it. I think that the fucking politicians are owned by the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh yeah,
and that's why they keep pushing it. But what the fuck? I mean, why do kids need this? The virus is not deadly to them, at all. It is. the farthest least amount of concern they have. There's like the flu is way more problem. Didn't the mice die? Yes, they died.
They died. No shit, they died. I didn't know the mice died.
A lot of the mice died.
You're kidding me.
No.
How come I didn't see that?
Yeah.
You gotta link me if you could find it. That is crazy. What are the benefits of aminos to help lose weight? Well, so protein is the building block of protein. Amino acids are the building block of proteins. Mm-hmm. And protein, you want to take in about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So for me, as a 210 pound man, I need a 210 gram protein intake. And let's put it in perspective. 6 ounce chicken breast is about 42 grams of protein. Right. So for someone like me, that would be 3.5. What is that? It would be 3.5 for 12. It'd be like 4.5 chicken breasts, somewhere in there, give or take, assuming that's all I eat. So that's really not that crazy. People are like, I can't eat all that protein. Yeah, you can. But the thing is, you might be full. Well, there's the point. Protein is not only more anorectic, which means it helps cure your hunger better than any other macronutrient, but it also has a higher thermic effect of food, which doesn't make that big of a difference. But when you're a caloric deficit, it certainly does, because every little bit helps. So my opinion is aminos are definitely important to lose weight because they're the building blocks of protein. Now, if you're talking about free form amino acids, like branched chain amino acids during training, so we can say that those are the first things that are metabolized by the body. There's also a study that was postered but never published. And that was a study that I actually funded from Scivation, where the group that took BCAA during training gained 9 pounds of lean mass, lost 4.5 pounds of fat. The control groups were whey protein and a placebo group. The placebo group was Gatorade, all on standardized diets, 12 groups, 36 total people, 12 per group. The whey protein group gained 4 pounds of lean mass, lost 2 pounds of fat, about half as good as the BCA group. The Gatorade group gained 1 pound of lean mass and lost 0 fat. So I actually put my money where my mouth is and funded a study. Not only did I fund a study, it was a double-blind study, and it was a collaborative study with the Weider Group, Weider Research Group, and the College of Charleston. So I had two groups working blindly to each other with the same results. So I made sure that my study was hater-proof. Unfortunately, the study never got published. It was just a poster at the ISSN because I sold the company before it could be published. And my partners who bought it, they did not see the urgency in getting this thing published. So one day I will fund another study that's exactly the same to see if the results are replicated.
That would be neat.
Sorry, that was long-winded.
No, that was awesome, dude. That was awesome. I want to say hi to the Warehouse Gym, Columbus.
It's my guy. So James is one of the people in Ohio who sued to open gyms back up. He was part of that group.
James is a hero. What's up, James?
He's a fucking patriot, man.
Go follow his channel, everybody. Go follow him, for real.
James is the guy, man. His gym, the Warehouse Gym in Columbus. I go there every time I'm out there. Every Arnold Classic, we go there and we have a lift fest. It's the best. We'll go there next time.
We're going to the Arnold?
We're not doing a booth, but I think we should go there just piss people off.
Okay, I'm down. That sounds like my idea of a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always fun seeing freaks, and honestly, like we sponsor Anna. You know, you saw Anna, and she qualified for the Olympia, which I believe is an automatic qualification for the Arnold.
That's awesome.
So awesome. I want to go just to see her worst case scenario.
Alan and Mark, what are your thoughts on the Boston University virus? Is it as bad as they say or overblown? I don't know. My question is, why the fuck are we making stronger viruses? Like I arrest these motherfuckers for trying.
Thank you.
For trying. Because that's stupid as fuck. I am not into government regulations by just about any stretch of imagination. However, that would be one where I would say, how about we not try to create stronger viruses for whatever fucking reason.
Well, that's how supposedly COVID started, right?
Yeah. And I got to be real. I haven't read too much into it. I just saw that it's like 80% fatality rate and blah, blah, blah. I got a newsflash for you. If it gets released tomorrow, I'm still not wearing a mask, motherfuckers. Because they don't do shit. Like, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not locking down. I'm going to depend upon my strong as fuck immune system and like the fucking 20,000 IUs of vitamin D I take in a day and all that shit. The fact that I've got the fucking, lung and heart capacity of a fucking teenager, I'll depend on that shit. And if the rest of you fall the fuck off, we told you so. You should get healthy. Like what the fuck? At this stage, like here's my thing. At this stage, I'm still all for helping everybody to get healthy. I really am.
Yeah.
But if you're in denial, especially if you're in denial about how you treat your body, when the fuck are you actually going to wake up, right? Because at this point in time, like if you still trust the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry, I wonder about like your like logic and critical thinking skills at this stage,
Or if you're still walking around in a mask, like what are you doing? Remember when you get banned for questioning masks on YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah. Like banned.
Questioned it. They banned you. They just suspended you without any warning.
Yeah.
If you were to say, hey, I don't know if these work, banned. Like you also have to wonder when there's such collusion on such a high scale. Like that's a scary situation.
Yeah, when it's so ridiculously like just one-sided, lopsided, and they won't allow when they won't even allow people like Johnny Unitas, like the most cited scientist. Like, did you see that they just took the credentials away from that one fucking dude from Peter?
Yeah, I
McCullough?
saw that. How do you take away someone's credentials? It's like taking away a degree that he earned.
But here's how I look at it. They took away their own credentials, right? Like the credentialing agency, in my mind, and I think in most logical other people's mind, you basically just made it so your credentials don't mean shit. Because if you can just take the credentials away from the most cited living scientist in that field, like he has cited and done more research, released more papers than anybody else in cardiology that's alive.
And he was
when
right.
all of a sudden, and he was right, and that's the thing. Like, and he was right. Like, it just goes to show, like, I can't trust you guys. Like, I mean, like, I can't. I am big in this, and you all should be big in this too. When you go to the doctor and they say something is wrong and you need to take this medication, have them explain to you in terms you can understand what is wrong. Have them explain to you in terms that you understand, in fruition, what the medicine does. Have them explain to you every single possible side effect that you could have and what to watch out for in terms you understand. That is truly called informed consent, right? What they tried to do in 2020 was turn off informed consent and just say, listen to the scientists, listen to the experts that we tell you to listen to. And if you listen to anybody else, those people aren't actually to be listened to. They robbed the country of informed consent. They robbed the world of informed consent. And now look what's happening,
So hospitals, I hear on good from someone who's high up in the hospital business. Masks will never go away from hospitals. You'll be masking up in hospitals and doctors' offices for as long as you live. It's not going away. Yeah. It's not going away, period.
Yeah.
Get used to it. It's just not going away. Don't go to the hospital. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Like, it is what it is. If you go, like, I took my daughter to urgent care to get concussion protocol and to get cleared because she got donked in the head pretty good. And, bro, like I'm like the doctor's like, look, if they walk in and you're not wearing it, we're shut down. Yeah. So your doctor does not want to do this. The hospital does not want to do this. If you want to blame anyone, blame the CDC. That stupid bitch, Rachel Walensky. She's the one doing it. She's the evil one. Until we take down the CDC, it's going to be. So there's nothing you can do. Just put it around your fucking chin and call it a day. I have nothing for you.
The CDC, the CDC, FDA, USDA, NIH, we could all do. We would be healthier without them. Like we absolutely would. So
I'm not going to argue. So
I can't.
How do?
One thing real quick though.
Yeah.
The thing about the mass and hospital system. The reason is like just so everybody understands. Like, here's how this works. They have taken a step. If they go back on it, it will be them admitting fault. Because if for some reason, you're in the hospital, like they take masks away and then you get a cross contamination, like you get COVID, the flu or something like that in a hospital, which happens all the fucking time, by the way. Like being in a hospital is one of the most fucking sickly places you could possibly ever fucking go to, right? But it leaves the hospital and the company open for civil ramifications because they have removed something that they said was necessary to stop viruses. And if you get a virus, they can be sued. Okay, that's one of the biggest reasons. Like it's all legal and shit like that now with them. And if they take the mask away, they're basically admitting that they were fucking wrong.
And they're never going to do that.
And they're never going to do that. Never.
Although that article in the Atlantic was like, we should just forgive people because they were. No, I'm not forgiving the CDC. No, you knew you were doing something wrong. You knew
they
it.
openly lied. They openly lied. I reshare a thing all the time about Rachel Walensky, and it was September 9th of 2021, where she's on there like, pregnant women should get the vaccine. It's safe and effective. There's never a bad time. If you want to get pregnant, are pregnant, breastfeeding, blah blah blah, you should get the vaccine. And I remember back then I was like, based on what data? Like what the what? Share the data with this. And now it turns out there's no data. It was just her saying it to sell the vaccine, to literally sell it. Like she should be in jail. Like,
I'm talking about beyond jail, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. Exactly. Not going to get kicked off, but yeah, speaking of, so this guy wants to do men's physique healthy. Just diet and get on stage. There's nothing. And I love this, like, do it naturally first. Why would you be on why take steroids? Like, are you going to make money doing it? Is it worth, and are you getting it prescribed? Like, you don't understand, like the shit you get on the black market, like generally speaking, you shouldn't probably trust drug dealers on the street.
Yeah.
So just stay natural. And also here's the thing, guys, there's natural bodybuilding organizations. There's the OCB, there's the ANBF. You don't got to compete in the IFBB or the NPC. You could do a natural show. So I don't understand. I want to try doing it naturally first. Like, so what are you saying? Like, why even have that mindset? Just stay natural. Because there's if you're going to truly get in shape, you're not going to be healthy, period. If you're going to get as lean as it takes to win, you're not healthy. You're not healthy. You're going to be unhealthy for at least 4 to 6 weeks out of your life. And then if you're natural, dude, I hope you don't like fucking, because your sex drive is going to be nothing. You're going to have no sex drive. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be tired. You might even get fired from your job. And
it's one of the reasons why I stay. It's one of the reasons why I stay about 30. Like I don't get down to 10. Like I stay.
If you don't like that, then, and if you don't feel like that, that means you're going to lose. It just does. Like who wins is usually who suffers the most. And I've won, not because of my superior genetic, because they're not. It's because I can suffer more than most people.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I think people. I don't think people don't realize like what your life is like. Like, I remember many years ago, I used to make fun of Mark because they called him the machine. But when you actually spend like a couple of days at his house, you're like, holy fuck, he's a machine. God damn it. Like, I mean, like, it's like all go. And I am a very intense, very energetic person, and I cannot keep up. Like, I fucking really cannot. So I just think that people don't view like what all you do. Like, you make it look very, very easy. Like, to the general, like you go work out, and then like part of it is just like Mark has fabulous genetics to stay lean, but also it's just like the amount of calories burned in a day make it very easy to manage food. And I think you do another thing. This is something else that you do. I think that other people don't realize, which is another reason why I think you do it much healthier. Mark, you don't eat even when you were bulking, like you were force feeding a little bit, but you didn't eat an incredible volume of food. There was a lot of protein shakes and stuff like that were involved too. So what that does for him is that it allows you to play with your calories. You can just switch out a protein shake for water, and you've reduced your calories, but not your volume. Like I don't like, the only time I ever remember you saying like you felt hungry was when you were like there was like 24 ounces of chicken breast was all you could eat in a day.
Oh God, that was when I was making weight. Yeah, that sucked. Yeah. That was. I mean, but it was fine. I mean, I told myself it would be fine, and it was fine. It's the what is it? Mind over matter. I don't mind. It doesn't matter or whatever. Yeah. So here's the thing: if hospitals are gross, nothing's more gross than wearing a mask and exhaling dirt into a mask and then keeping it there. Masks make everything dirtier, bro. Like, it is what it is. This is there's no reason to ever wear a mask, in my opinion, unless you're like mowing a lawn and you don't want allergens. But other than that, like, it's all airborne viruses, like well, if it works for a lawn, well, grass particles are a little bit bigger than a virus. Yeah. It's common 8th grade fucking science, guys.
Yeah, aerosolized vapor travels 30 meters too. Like, I mean, it's like the whole 6 feet thing. With like when they came up with 6 feet, I was just like, I remember thinking like every day I was like, "There's another piece of bullshit. There's another piece of bullshit." And every time I'd say something against that piece of bullshit, people would be like, "Oh, you just want grandma to die and this and that." Like now they want amnesty. Like, fuck you, bitches. That's not happening. So
Nah, it's just I don't know,
man.
Mr. Weller, but we do agree on this. Bodybuilding is not healthy. What'd you just click on? I just clicked off it. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding isn't healthy. No, you're not. Now, no. Hold on. Competitive bodybuilding where you get on stage is not healthy.
Right.
However, bodybuilding as a hobby is probably the healthiest thing you could possibly do, assuming you're not injecting yourself with tons of drugs.
Right.
Eating whole, natural, clean foods,
Yeah.
and exercising with weights is the healthiest thing you could do for your body. Period.
Yeah. I completely agree. Like, I'd love to hear your guys' different perspectives on metformin. I really don't know if we have a different perspective on metformin.
I think we both like metformin in its actions, and there's a natural alternative which is called berberine, which actually has the same mechanism of action as metformin, and also you'll see that if you see something like, I'm going to take berberine because of these side effects from metformin, we're not entirely sure that they don't share side effects too, because if they share properties, they'll also share side effects theoretically. So I think again, if you want to go the natural route, berberine is fantastic. I have Nutrient Driver. We actually have a new product coming out, which is, in my opinion, pretty advanced. It's going to be awesome. But we don't have a timeline on that yet. It's a very cool ingredient that we found. But I do think that berberine is extremely helpful, as is metformin, in not only controlling your blood sugar and insulin, but also in turn, because the mechanism of action, controlling inflammation, and inflammation is Satan.
Yeah. I basically use it because right now I'm testing out the key ingredients in the product Marc is talking about. I tested them all individually, and then now I'm testing. Like right now, I'm on the products I call it product 2, but I'm on the main ingredients for product 2, Ember and No Morbidity, and it's just I don't have it's all gone. Like the thing about No Morbidity, which is still the best weight loss supplement ever created in my mind
by far.
But the thing about it was I still was prone to have sugar cravings and a few things like that. Gone. Between Nutrient Drivers, berberine, and then two of our other main ingredients, dude. I could eat, even if I get I used to have a problem where if I ate anything that had a sweet flavor to it, I'd get cravings afterwards a little bit. Gone. Absolutely done. So
yeah, I hear that. And so as far as TRT burning fat, so your body's a system. It's not just one hormone. So you have TRT. Now, testosterone, if you're deficient in it, it will have a negative impact on serotonin. That'll have a negative impact on melatonin. That'll have a negative impact on such and such and this and that. Then you have your thyroid, which is your thyroid is basically your body's control switch. If your thyroid's fucked up, everything sucks. So number one is I think people need to pay more attention to thyroid health. And I think a lot of people don't. One nutrient that is extremely beneficial for thyroid health is tyrosine. I don't know if a lot of people, but in fact, in our old diets, and I think I showed you this before, is the first diet book I wrote is called the Game Over Cut Diet, Alan, is we recommend people eat avocados. And one reason is due to its tyrosine content, which would help support thyroid function as you got deeper in diet. Now remember, this was written back in 2004. So we knew about this shit over a dozen years ago. So, we're not rewriting the Bible. A lot of this data has been available. So the problem is when you look at things in a vacuum, will TRT increase your metabolism? Well, theoretically, it'll help with fat loss because you're going to have more muscle. But I think people misunderstand how much fat muscle burns. Muscle does not burn that many more calories. You're looking at the difference of maybe a bagel a day if you gain 30 pounds of lean mass, which you're not going to gain. So my whole thing is, I think you need to look at things as a holistic thing. So if your testosterone is low, getting it up to adequate levels will allow your body to operate more efficiently, thus in turn maximizing your genetic potential for fat burn.
That was fucking brilliant. It really was. That was brilliant.
I absolutely enjoy talking about how the body works. And if there's one thing 2020 taught me, and you, I can speak for you, is that I know so much more about the body and how it works. And inflammation, I never thought about inflammation unless it's like, oh, I have a headache, I need to take an anti-inflammatory. You know, now it's like, wait a second, inflammation is Satan.
We went through like Mark and I went through like a 7-month stretch where we just literally texted back and forth studies on inflammation. That's it. Hey, Mark, this guy's got a question about Tiger Fitness.
Yeah, of course. So just let us know. So we're open. The gym is open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's a gym, but what I would do is I would contact and see when Laura Phelps is in. She basically is Louis Simmons. So she trained under Louis Simmons, trained with Louis Simmons. And now that he's passed away, his fountain of knowledge has passed through Laura. So if you have time to go down there, call up customer service and see if she's in when you're going to be there. Cause not that I want you to bug her or stalk her, cause she's a very cute young lady, but I would like you to just give her a heads up. So she knows to be ready to say hi to you guys, because she's a wealth of knowledge. Like, she's amazing.
Dude, the videos she's putting out is fucking are so.
She's awesome. so much smarter than me. Oh my God.
Are we working on getting ambrosia supplement distributors in Europe?
We do have one distributor. I think it's A1 supplements, or for some reason I'm blanking on the name, but we do. The problem is the exchange rate. So what America did, Isabella, and I'm very sorry for this, we elected a guy named Joe Biden. He fucked everything up. Yeah, so right now the international market is very hard. But let me just say, if anybody will buy something, I will sell it to them. So if you have anybody who wants to, any distributor out there that somehow you met at the gym or you met at a grocery store or in the sauna, send them my way and I'll gladly take their money in exchange for product. That's what we do. That's how we pay the bills here.
That's how we pay the bills. And again, check out the Halloween sale. Nope. You can still get, by the way, No Morbidity is sold out of Tiger Fitness, but you can still get it in Ambrosia. I checked this morning.
Did we sell out already?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, but you can still get it at Ambrosia. So
I could have sworn we had enough. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is great. I want to start doing these like 3 times a week. What I've noticed is that I'm going on all these podcasts and it's like, dude, ours are awesome too. Like, people need this. Yeah,
I agree. Orange Tang is okay. Oh, the only Tang. I thought somebody was saying something about the Orange Man. Oh God, here we go. Right at the very end.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for everything. Be sure to tune in next time and tell all your friends.
Yeah. Next time we'll talk about something equally as offensive.
Yes. All right.
Later on, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.